If you want a free trial at The Athletic and not 20%, not 30%, not 40%, but 50% off your subscription, head over to theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball. They have some of the game's best writers, including Sam Amick, former VP of basketball operations for the Grizzlies, John Hollinger, and many more. If you don't know The Athletic, it's ad-free. You can customize your feed in the app and help support this channel by signing up at theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball for your free trial today. The game-winning shot is one of the most celebrated and revered basketball arts, but with drama at a fever pitch, it's easy to miss the chess match that often unfolds in the final seconds of these games. With nearly a month in the books, let's put the season's most interesting last-second plays under a microscope and examine some of the best and worst calls of the year. Let's start with the first week of the season, when Memphis went to the wire with Brooklyn, and Ja Morant authored his first big NBA moment. He gets left around a screen here and explodes into the lane to finish. Even in a late clock situation, Memphis is still running standard stuff with a little screen and flare in the corner here, and pick and roll in the middle of the floor with a crashing offensive rebounder. Brooklyn, however, takes the opposite approach by ISOing Kyrie Irving, and with everyone standing around, Ja Morant clubs it away. This stagnation is too risk-averse for my taste, and it led to a wild OT finish. Down one, Morant throws the ball away, then Spencer Dinwiddie lips out a free throw. Memphis has no timeouts, but Brooklyn takes a foul with 4 seconds left. I'm not a huge fan of this foul because there's so little time left, and it gave the Grizzlies a side out to reset and run this awesome hook and ladder action to spring Morant, and passing with 1 second left is, wait for it, legendary. This is a reminder of just how much can happen on the court in 3 seconds. After a spidery Donovan Mitchell layup to put Utah up 1, the Kings were stuck with no timeouts, but that allowed De'Aaron Fox to build up speed in the backcourt with a simple but powerful 5-out look. Spacing to the line pulls Rudy Gobert out of the paint, and sure enough, Gobert's instincts to rim protect led him back toward the ball, even though Mitchell was in good guarding position. This thing is down yet pops out, but Barnes saves the day for the Kings. This is actually a tricky spot for Bogdanovic with Barnes so far away, but he stays in no man's land instead of bodying Barnes, and it swings the game. On the same night in Boston, the Celtics won with simplicity in the endgame. Brad Stevens has a reputation for concocting devilish out-of-bounds plays, and sending Kemba to the backcourt here creates this scary 3-man game with no extra help defenders. The Knicks switch everything, which defaults the action to a Tatum ISO, and he goes to that rip-through that he loves, and it creates a clean look. Note that he doesn't need 3, so it doesn't matter that this is a long 2, and without any timeouts, that was the ball game. Denver had far more time on this one against Dallas, but went hunting for a 3-pointer to tie, and Jokic didn't get the ball here, so he kind of loses steam. That left Murray and Millsap in a 2-man game, and Millsap actually slips out here, but Murray misses him, and then he's just stuck playing hero ball as the clock winds down. No great counters on this set for Mike Malone and company, and the thing peters out. Although, a few days earlier, they were the beneficiary of something equally uninspiring. Devin Booker runs the clock down here despite trailing. I don't quite get that. And this little fake screen cut is designed to spring the ball handler, but Denver's probably in switch everything mode at the end of the game, and Beasley sits on it beautifully, which deflates Booker's drive to the hoop. This past week gave us our second memorable Morant moment. Say that 10 times fast. Tie game looks like spread pick and roll, but Brandon Clark, a rookie in his 12th season, slips out for the switch just like Millsap did, only Morant attacks, and look at this hesitation dribble. I mean, look at that. It's like a yo-yo off his hand, allowing Morant to explode with a speed change. He's low, he's strong, and his hips power right past Martin for an absolutely incredible finish to win the game. Back in Denver, after the Nuggets erased a 19-point fourth quarter deficit to trail by 1, they went to a pick and roll with Jokic this time, only Embiid reacts really well, gets there early, and Jokic, who impressed many with this pass, actually threw it low and a little late. The classic Draymond short roll lob here would have done the trick. Raul Neto is pulled into the corner, and no one could actually cover this lob. Millsap's ready for it, but the Sixers swarm the pass, and Jokic ends up with another crazy game winner to cap the comeback. Philly made amends later in the week against the Cavs with this delicacy from Brett Brown. It starts out looking like a standard pick and roll with Tobias Harris lurking in the lane. Sometimes this turns into maybe a Spain pick and roll where Harris sets an additional screen for the original action, but instead Embiid takes his advantage after blasting Colin Sexton out of the play and uses it to be a screener himself. Look at how well he disguises this by glancing for the ball. And this is the real play. Harris coming off this pin down screen, forcing the defense to react to him. Remember, the Sixers don't need a three here. Now, look at this play from Tristan Thompson's point of view. He's containing the ball handler, but has an eye on Embiid as Sexton recovers. When Sexton recovers to Embiid, Thompson's instincts take him back to Joel, but Embiid's already set this screen, and Thompson sees an open Harris, so he lunges toward him, but Nance is also chasing Harris, and right now, Embiid has a seal, and Cleveland's only prayer is for Cedi Osman to sink down off Ben Simmons, and he doesn't, and it's game over. The Cavs do come back with a slipped pick and roll just like the Grizzlies showed earlier, and you can see the power of this simple late game play as Love gets a great look, but again, they don't need a three, and he has a live dribble, and a step or two into the mid-range here might have been gold. In general, Brett Brown and Philly are looking for Embiid and the post in these late game spots, and here against Atlanta, he just parks himself in the lane. Remember, officials don't call 3 seconds at the end of games, and vacating the paint makes Embiid the primary option here, and again, the defense struggles to respond. They won the game on those 2 free throws. A few days later in Portland, the Sixers were hanging by a thread against Frozone himself, Damian Lillard. Terry Stotts opted to run Lillard into the backcourt to gain a head of steam, only Brett Brown and Philly blitzed him, and Lillard does a great job here to skip it into the corner. It's a touch low, but Anthony Simons doesn't care, and he drops the corner pocket 3-ball. Without Embiid, Brett Brown still draws up something post-heavy. Notice there's a similar option for Harris on the backside here as he seals his man and Richardson vacates the lane. Nice recognition, though, by Ben Simmons to hit a wide-open Korkmaz, who was free after Al Horford took Damian Lillard out of the play, and Anthony Tolliver headed I'm not sure where. Horford would have been a good outlet here, too, given that Tolliver played neither of these players. A lack of defensive awareness hurt the Blazers at the end of this game. Our old friend the Nuggets were in yet another close one against Minnesota, and a simple 2-man game at the end of the clock gets it back to Jokic, but Towns does a great job moving his feet and contests, and it doesn't even matter. The Wolves had 2 seconds to work with off this inbounds, and the Nuggets switched this screening action for Towns, but then Okogie takes an interesting route into the corner, and there's congestion as Wiggins catches to turn. This is quite the opposite of what we saw with Jason Tatum earlier, when he had all that space in a similar situation. What stands out to me about this play is how absolutely wide open the lane is right now. Karl Anthony Towns has a golden opportunity to dive to the hoop, and there's plenty of time left for a cut like that and a fairly easy pass from Wiggins if he weren't thinking about launching a crazy difficult fadeaway in the corner. Keep that lack of movement in mind as we look at this final play. Mitchell has a possible lob off this screen, and Bogdanovic is supposed to use Gobert as well, but Middleton is top blocking him, playing him on the opposite side of the basket. So Bojan calls an audible and cuts right to the empty corner. It's great recognition by Ingles to see it, but even better recognition by Bogdanovic to make that cut in the first place, and he makes amends for that missed box out earlier with one of the signature shots of the year. If you haven't already, check out the latest Thinking Basketball podcast with the Ringers' J. Kyle Mann, link in the description below. Also, you can support this channel by using that link below if you're checking out The Athletic. It's theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball, where you'll get a free month and 50% off the subscription price. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, and as always, I hope that you are having a great day.